Best man this evening. This is a fantastic event. I'm very, very honored to be up here. Before I get started, I want to thank, the family and the friends involved, Kim's parents, Jeff's parents, everyone else. A lot of energy, a lot of time, a lot of argument that goes into all of this. And it should be acknowledged. There's a lot of hands that have come together to make these two kids be married. So, like I said, I'm honored to be up here. And, Jeff Drummond, my best friend here, his beautiful wife, Kim Drummond, the newly minted Kim Drummond. Isn't she beautiful? She's stunning. Absolutely stunning. And Jeff, you just gotta know, man, this night, it's not about you, okay? It's about Kim. These next couple minutes might be about you, but it's mostly about Kim, so you're just kind of like a handsome accessory at this point. So, enjoy it. Take some shine right here, you'll do fine here, buddy. But I've known Jeff since, I don't know, sophomore year, junior year, whatever, and we've had a lot of firsts together. We had our first day of college together, our first dorm room apartment out there in the world. It's exciting. We also did our first, we tried to institute a croquet club day at and it was me, Jeff, a couple other guys. We dressed up in sweater vests. We tucked our khakis into our socks. And that taught us our first valuable lesson in public humiliation. So, also good. So, but there's two particular firsts that I'd like to share with everyone. Hey! So the first one, I knew Jeff, PE class, we ran the same circles, a lot of the same friends and everything. But you don't really know a guy until you interact with them outside of the classroom, especially when you're in high school. That's just kind of how it goes. So I thought I had a good read on Jeff. But the first time we hung out, it was a little bit weird. We got off on a weird foot. And so me and Jeff and my buddy Weston Anderson, he's right there. Weston Anderson.
Hey, Wesley!
We conspired. So three of us pals, we conspired for a solid Friday afternoon. We're basically going to do burgers and a mandate, if you will. So, the three of us, exactly. Total bromance. And I ride the bus home with those two. We get to Jeff's house. We hop in the Champagne Camry, and we pull out of his neighborhood. Okay? We pull out of Jeff's neighborhood, and I'm in the back seat. Wes and Jeff are in the front seat, and the first thing one of them does is they pop in a CD, and the first thing that comes up is Sheena Easton's 9 to 5. It was weird, for sure. It was weird. So Sheena Easton's 9 to 5 is playing. And we'll get there, please. So they pop this CD in, and we pull onto St. George Barber's Road. And if you guys aren't familiar with St. George Barber's Road, it is a windy, narrow road in the woods of Davidsonville, not too far away from here. And we pull on there, this song is playing, and Jeff slams on the gas. And I couldn't drive at this time. I was probably like 15. I could not drive. I was concerned. And we're wheeling around these turns, and all of a sudden, Wes and Jeff, they break into song in unison head bobbing, okay? So they're going, Jeff's got the wheel, he's peeling around these corners, and they're in the front seat going, my baby takes the morning train, he works from 9 till 5, and then... That's all you're getting to hear. So I'm in the backseat, who are these aliens that I've gotten into the car with? Am I going to make it to Five Guys? Are we going to watch Green Street Hooligans? I don't know! It was fun. We got our burgers, we watched the movie, and everything was great. But I will never forget GFC for sure.
Godfrey.
GFC, drunk. Whatever. But the point of it being, my first interaction with Jeffrey outside of South River High School was, it got off to a weird foot, everything was fine, but I will never ever forget that. And actually at this point, I'd like to put the weirdness on Wes Anderson officially. So that day, that's been on him. forever now.
Little bomber.
And actually, I don't want to get close to these speakers. I would like to be closer to you
Texas
two,
is king.
because I've third wheeled it on a lot of dates with these guys, like a lot of dates, like almost uncomfortable amount, but it's fine. Actually, you guys probably don't know this, but when this whole wedding planning process was going, it was thrown out there that Jeff and Kim might be at their own solo table, and Jeff immediately starts bargaining with Kim, like, hey, Schweik, like, what if he just sits on the table with us? Like, is that cool? Like, they've gotten to this point, but I mean, obviously it's resolved. We're at the same table, Jeff. It's fine. It's totally fine. Kim, I got your back. But, so, when they start dating, obviously, Kim's cool as a cucumber. Jeff immediately smitten by her, clearly, as many of you can attest to, I'm sure. And, I can attest to you, though, I was there, when the seeds of this relationship were sown, and now, we're in a garden of love at this point. So we've gone.
He's been dancing around in his room in his boxers, giving a speech for weeks.
And, excuse me for a moment. So, so Jeff, he calls me up. He's telling me about this girl that he met he was chatting to at Pussers, obviously. Like, he's chatting.
After parties and Pussers.
Absolutely, Pussers after party for sure. Anyone and all are invited. So let's make that clear. But
Barbie's coming.
so first of all, Jeff calls me up and he's telling me about this girl. He's chatting her with Pussers. They went on a date, and that was weird in itself because Jeff didn't go on dates at the time. Like, there were no dates for Jeff. And thank God that Kim came on her white stallion and scooped him up because we were worried.
No dates for Jeff.
And that he was asexual mostly. So he calls me up. He's like, yeah, I met this girl. We're chatting it up. We went on a date. And he's like, can you scrounge up a date? Let's go hit the Orioles game next week. Let's double date. I said, yeah, sure, fine. So we go to Baltimore.
Who'd you take, Schweik?
Whatever clown with me. And this is. She was not a 6. She was not a 6. Give me better credit for that. She was a 7.5.
A 6.
Who is this guy?
So anyway, so we go up to Baltimore, and this is my first face-to-face interaction with Kim, We'd never, I'd seen her around, I knew of her, but this is the first time that we're meeting, and obviously she's great, she's very sweet, she's totally cool, she's laughing at all of Jeff's jokes, but like he's some sort of goddamn comedian. He's not funny. Jeff is not funny in the least, and so I'm thinking like, oh man, he's telling some terrible jokes. God, and she's wrapped around his finger. I couldn't believe it. So, the date goes on. It's a good time and everything. Obviously, they have a better time than I do. Yeah, clearly.
Nah, always 6.
So, but one poignant thing about this night that always sticks out to me is we're riding back. I'm driving. They're in the back seat. They're cuddled up a little bit. They're having their own little conversation. They might have been whispering sweet nothings to each other. It's cool. And every once in a while I get a Schweik, change the music. What is this shit?
Because it's been awful.
So and then Kim would be like, Jeff, stop it, Jeff, come on. Very playfully. Kim, I'm sorry, that was a bad impression. But one thing I took from that really is, I'm joking around, but it was really an adorable scene because I had never, ever seen my friend Jeff like this. Like, not in a million years. It was a totally new front, and I caught a very loving vibe from the two of them. And I mean, this is date number 2 or 3. And it was very noticeable, and you know, I couldn't have foreseen this journey that they've gone on, you know, since that point in time, 2 years ago or whatever that was, and no one could have foreseen, you know, how they would get from there to this point today to be able to, you know, go on this journey for the rest of their lives together, and I just couldn't get over that one night, that one scene, you know, essentially.
The man, Schwank,
A very loving vibe between the two of them. If I could put it into words, I would call it a comfortable love. Is how I would describe their relationship.